What up, y'all? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And one thing we love about this show is we have guests that swing by, hang out with us. And today we got two legends in the building at the same time, Lo.
Crazy.
They both represent for their city.
Yes.
They both helped to put on the South.
That's right.
And they both came together to give us Freaknik, the Wildest Party Never Told. Hey, yo, Jermaine Dupri, Uncle Luke in the building. Y'all make some noise for him.
We got to start out swinging. We want to talk about how Uncle Luke single-handedly ruined Freaknik once you brought the freaks down there, man. Why you did that? Nah, you turned it up to another level. But do you feel like once it got a little too freaky than us, or did you get a little nervous there?
No, I never got nervous. I'm always pushing the envelope, especially back then when I was a young jet. But you know, that's why it was important to tell this story, because most people think that, you know, I started Freaknik. They think that I, you know, turned it into some kind of crazy wild party, which I lost a little bit of it. You know, I kind of did.
You helped push it in that direction.
When I heard freak, I mean, shoot, I'm king of the freaks. So
Thanks.
I'm going where the freaks at.
You pulled up.
You feel me? And so and that's basically what it was, you know, for me. But at the end of the day, you know, that's why we did this doc. That's on Hulu today, to show the actual story. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't know the actual story.
Right.
You know, of Freaknik. And when you look at this, you'll see that it started off as some students from the HBCUs here, that they started an innocent party that, because they couldn't afford to go to Dustin, Myrtle Beach, Daytona, wherever they wanted to go for spring break. They didn't have any money, and a lot of other friends didn't have the money, and so they wanted to have this little party.
Yeah. Why did y'all? I know why you wanted to tell the story, but why did y'all think now was the perfect time to tell the story?
I think it's the 41st year anniversary or something like that of Freaknik. That's one. I don't think people even know that. I just feel like it's a Southern hip hop story that's been ignored, right? And people looked at it like it was a bad thing, as opposed to all of the great things that happened from Freaknik. All the things that came out of this city actually rose to the top based on Freaknik. The music, So Def, Outkast, you know, Shy D, all these artists, they all got their look. They got a great look during Freaknik, and you couldn't have a better look. You couldn't have more people come to the city and just be here looking and asking for us to give them stuff and taking it and actually listening to it.
For sure.
You know.
Absolutely.
And you had a lot of people terrified. A lot of people were rejoicing once it came out and seeing that they wasn't on there, busting it wide open. Y'all had some people threatening to sue, all kind of stuff. And now, what is the feedback that you're getting from? Because I know some of the people that reached out to y'all like, I did see myself, but y'all did it tastefully.
You was worried,
huh?
You was worried that you was going to be on there?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not old enough. I wish so. I would have been up there like.
So you was worried about your mama being on it?
Nah, my mama, she was pregnant at that time numerous times. So she
for 10 years straight.
Yep,
For
10 years straight, the whole time.
At one point, you had to drop that low.
No, I would have. I did get the chance to go to like the Greek Fest, so that was like the spinoff afterwards.
Correct.
And I was young at the time, so they kept us out only during the day. So when the sun went down, they was like, all right, y'all go in the room and we gonna go outside like my aunties and them. But I was looking. I was looking for.
I got footage of that too.
Yeah. Did y'all see anyone that you knew that you maybe was like, let me take this part out because this isn't gonna be tasteful for them?
No, nobody. We did not edit based on who was in the actual doc that we wanted to take out. You know, people, just like you say, everybody was nervous.
Yeah.
A lot of people was nervous. You know, I mean, you know, the way we went about doing the whole edits and everything was, again, you had to just tell the story, you know, and not necessarily worry about who's in it and who's not, because, you know, all of it is intellectual property, and so you can use it, but to what degree? And, you know, people were complaining, just like you say, and we weren't really worried about that.
Here's what I love about the doc. It documents Freaknik, obviously, but I also feel like it's almost a a documentary on the 90s and how we moved at that time. Because I didn't make Freaknik, but when I'm watching this, like Lo brought up, I was at the Greek Fest in Philly and in Jersey. I was at Black Bike Week in Myrtle Beach, which was the same type of thing. I was at Labor Day weekend in Virginia Beach, and it was literally the same play.
Yeah.
Same way Freaknik went down, spawned off all these other places.
I got
and
all that footage too. So all of it is in my garage.
I got a little footage myself. Luke, I might have to share some with you. You know what I mean? But it was really dope to show how we communicated, how we moved through the 90s pre-social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a big deal for us to come to things like Freaknik because the world wasn't as connected. So when people showed up, they turned up more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they connected. That's basically how you connect it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how much of just painting that picture just of the 90s was important in the overall story?
I mean, I think, like he said, once we decided to actually tell a story of Freaknik, all of that stuff just starts to unravel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just starts to unravel about like the manual side of people and how people used to get in their cars and drive somewhere. Like you saying, the bikers still do it. They because that's what you have to do to get on a bike. But kids today, they don't get in the car 4 deep. No money, just enough money to pay for gas and go somewhere, right? They all try to act like they super rich and they get ready to buy out the mall and all this other stuff. So that activity, you don't see it, but that's what happens when you start telling the story. It just starts to unravel, and you start seeing people like Jalen Rose. Like all of these people just start telling you. I would have never knew Jalen Rose was at Freaknik. I would have never knew that. You know what I mean? He seemed like he was like, I just parked my car. Once you park your car, it's over with.
Yep.
Like you can't just park your car in Atlanta and just walk away now. Like what? The windows gonna be busted out when you come back. The wheels gonna be gone. But that's what I'm saying. It was just a time when the city was carefree and people was carefree, and people came to Atlanta with respect. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of the whole doc to me.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
crazy thing is we're seeing this happen now kind of in Miami, where like the Memorial Day weekend, the spring break, they're saying in Miami, we don't want y'all here no more. And I do notice that when it got a little black and browner, it was more, that's now we don't want y'all here. But when it was a little more whiter, it was okay for them to be able to do that. How do you fight back, or how do we fight back of still letting kids have their youth and have their fun?
Well, it's and that's why I love this doc so much, and we put it out right now in the spring. And just like you say, in my city, we've been fighting that fight forever. What people don't realize is that HBCUs go on spring break the same time. White colleges go on spring break the same time, and they don't necessarily white go early, black go late. And so every municipality around the country already know that. They know that game plan. And so, they come up with all these different measures to distract African-American college students. And it's similar to what you had at Freaknik at one point. It was a party, and once you want to get rid of a party, you create a police state where you do create gridlock, and then obviously you're going to have problems, and then when you take the problems and you throw them on the news and everybody write it up in the newspaper that this is a problematic situation, then now the community gets involved in trying to stop something that some innocent black kids will happen, other than doing, just like Jermaine is always saying, having Essence Music Festival. I mean, it's no different than what it is. If you program anything, I mean, you guys program your radio station, your radio show right now. If you did not program it, it'd be a chaotic situation, and then everybody would probably be looking for jobs. Yeah. And it's all about programming. If you do anything of this magnitude, you have to have that. Without any programming, then it becomes a chaotic situation that you got to stop.
It's like they put the narrative out there to kind of to make it something that it already isn't. And that's why I thought it was interesting that MTV did the documentary for Freaknik back then, but the narrative was that it was more of a dangerous situation in somewhere, and for it to be on MTV at that time, which that was really all we had to watch music. Did y'all check that documentary out and feel any way about that?
I think I saw it a little bit, but I didn't really pay much attention because I felt like I felt like it wasn't coming from here. You know what I mean? I feel like the story has to be told from the like. That's why we made sure that the DC Metro Club was really, really important and really talked and told people exactly what was going on. Because I don't think most of the people that know about Freaknik, they don't even know that the Freaknik was actually created by a group of people that's not even from Atlanta.
Right. I was surprised to find that out in the documentary.
That's fire.
DC.
And those are the moments that you need to get out of it, because everybody want to tell us how we are as black people, and the picture is never painted in a positive manner. You know what I'm saying? They always want to paint us in a bad picture. Whether it's MTV or any other idiot box program show. But it's important for us as storytellers to tell our stories. And we'll tell it like that.
For sure. With the way that Freaknik came to its rise and fall, looking back on it now as older gentlemen, do you have any regrets on any of it? And is there anything that you feel like could have been done to keep it going?
Well, and I mean, I never had no regrets for me personally with anything. You know what I'm saying? Because again, everything is controlled by the creator. He makes the decisions as to how we move, and what direction we move in. But the unique thing about it, for me, I always take anything that people deem as a bad situation and you pull the good out of it. Because if you can't do that, then that becomes problematic. With this doc, some may have thought that it was a bad situation, and now look at it now. Me and JD come together, two guys who represent our city, just like you said, put out a documentary, about the South, giving you the history of it, because like we've always been saying on this whole promo tour, there's nothing ever done on behalf of the South when it comes to hip hop and how we were created. You know what I'm saying? It's always you hear about Crenshaw. We know that. We know the different. We know Brooklyn and the Bronx. We know and Philly and the guys from. We hear those stories and we know those stories. But now you get to see how the South actually rose.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And JD didn't say he the king of New York there.
No.
You said you would be. But I do want to say congratulations, because obviously we know you got the #1 record in the country right now.
Thank you.
Also, congratulations to you, Luke, because I see you back in the studio, Young Miami. Y'all got the club banger coming.
Oh, see, there you go. You don't miss nothing.
I don't miss a thing. That's what they say about me.
Freaknik, baby.
No doubt.
When can we expect that record, though, Uncle Luke?
Oh, that's gonna be on her album. We just got to do a little more finishing touches of it, but I love it. I love the song.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Congratulations to you both. The documentary is dope. I love everything about it, and continued success, man. You guys are legends. I mean, we salute you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all.
Jermaine Dupri, Uncle Luke, Morning Hustle.
Hey.
We are the Morning Hustle.